I'm joined by political analyst Karim Boulos to talk the final week of the Montreal municipal election campaign. Thank you so much for joining us, Karim.
It's my pleasure.
What can we expect from the mayoral candidates this next and final week?
I think it's their last chance really to connect with undecided voters. All three candidates, I'm sure, have had weeks to speak with their fan base and their supporters, and have had the chance to rally with certain neighborhood organizers. But there's still a significant number, 27% of people, depending on which poll you look at, that are undecided. So this is a chance really to capitalize on the debate, get out and walk the streets and be seen in shopping centers and be around soccer fields and anything else that's available to get themselves seen by undecided voters.
What's the best sort of note to conclude a campaign?
I think it's got to be on a positive note, a positive, upbeat, not a critical tone, not saying what the others are not doing, but trying to give people a sense of who you are and what difference you can bring to the job. In the case of Madame Plante, it's about continuing the work. It's about making sure that people see that there has been some good, remembering the good during the last 4 years. Mr. Kader has to remind people that he is the steady candidate, that he's the one with all the experience, and that we need to focus on the Montreal economy, springing out of COVID. And Mr. Holness has to show people that it's time for a new look at politics. I think his message has always been politics done a different way, a refreshing way, representation by people who are members of the visible community of Montreal, and getting them involved in the democratic process. People who have typically not really been invited into the process. So Mr. Holness has maybe a taller order in front of him, but certainly getting his name to become more mainstream by telling people that he's trying to do things a little bit other than what Mr. Kader and Madame Plante are proposing.
How would you grade each of their campaign performances, and what are your early predictions for November 7?
I've learned that predictions don't get you very far. Mr. Kader has suffered a couple of unfortunate incidents with certain embarrassments in certain cases, but I think overall, I think Madame Plante has probably run the least negative or least chaotic campaign. She's had a couple of little missteps with certain candidates who've been accused of very minor things many years ago, if we think about Mr. McQueen, for example. But again, if we look at the quality of the campaigns, it's been the cleanest, smoothest, positively uneventful. No drama. I think that's a good thing. Mr. Holness has lost 6 candidates. I think if somebody's had a rough time with this campaign, I think it's Mr. Holness. So typically we don't vote for somebody, we vote out somebody. So if people are unsatisfied with Madame Plante, they'll look for an alternative. Otherwise, typically the incumbent has an advantage. So at this stage, given that she's made very few mistakes, if you give a hair of an advantage to anybody, it would be Madame Plante.
Thank you so much for joining us, Karim.
My pleasure.